Happy time zone.
Happy time zone. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. For me, it's afternoon. For Stefan, it's however ungodly hour, drinking scotch and whiskey,
As always.
scotch and coke.
Yeah, this one I'm just in the cocktail, still in the cocktail mood from last week, drinking
Oh yeah.
cocktails all
So
week.
what were you up to when I had to fill in with another Dutch?
I was chilling out next to a pool with cocktails, so it was very hard on me.
Oh
That's why I got a little bit tense right now. But people
no,
say
I
it's
can't
no,
tell.
no. That's
I don't think Dutch people tan.
I
I've
I
never seen a Dutch person with a tan.
I was lying in the sun every day for like 10 hours, and yeah, okay, but
Copious amounts of alcohol. Good. You
yeah,
were being a
exactly.
good role model for your child.
Yeah. She said something about wine the other day or yesterday. It was like,
Yep.
oh, are you not drinking wine today? So that's the type
Oh,
of
so you're
parent I am.
normalizing healthy
Yeah,
behaviors? Yeah.
grape
Look at
juice.
that. Yeah.
She was drinking. She was also drinking cocktails, but virgin. At some point, she knew a few cocktails that she can order herself at the bar, which is kind of cute.
That's so cute. That I can. Yeah. It blows my mind. A tiny person over a bar. Hey,
Yeah.
hey, can I get a virgin Bloody Mary? Yes, you can have some tomato juice, girl.
Yeah, I know, right? And then, what was it? So because she's pretty tall, most Dutch people are pretty tall. So she's pretty tall for her age. She's almost 8.
Yep.
So a lot of people thought she was like 11 because
Oh, okay.
because she was doing everything on her own. She was talking to everyone. She made more friends than I did because I was just there lying on my chair with my
Yeah.
noise
And you are
canceling
just
headphones in.
you're just an antisocial nerd, so
I am. I am.
yeah,
No,
we
I.
both are, right? You can
Yeah.
tell. We don't like talking to people. So, and
No,
last
we
week we
we
couldn't
love to be
make it.
quiet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
last week we couldn't make it because Stefan was still enjoying his tropical adventures, and I was
Mhm.
feeling a little bit bad after my second COVID shot, but I'm immunized now.
Oh,
Woot
you're
woot!
fully vaccinated. That I'm so
Yeah, in a week
jealous.
I will be basically not a cesspool, full of germs and viruses and stuff.
Yeah. So
So
which one did you get? Which vaccine?
yes, so I'm spreading 5G of Pfizer.
Pfizer. Okay,
Yes,
cool.
so and my phone has had an amazing service ever
I,
since.
I was about to ask, but your coverage definitely improved afterwards. Okay,
Hmm.
cool. Yeah. So I
Yes,
keep on
I'm in the province here in Poland, so
Yeah, for me, it's like I probably still need to wait another month before I'm officially qualified to get a vaccine.
I
But
know.
they have like vaccines that they probably need to throw away because people don't show up. So they just opened a website last Monday where you can find out where our
Just show up
vaccines.
at the place. Just
Exactly.
show up.
Yeah. So this one shows like you can show up when the house is blue on the map. You can
Hmm.
show up at this time, and there's a chance you can get a vaccine.
Yeah,
So I keep on refreshing the site all day
yeah.
long to see if something turns up. But until now, nothing yet.
I
But
would go with an appointment. I would just go double mask, just drench
double
myself in
mask.
hand sanitizer, and just I would just wait in front of the vaccination place. I've
You
seen
know,
so many people have good.
hand sanitizer is antibacterial, right?
It kills
So
viruses as well
yeah.
because it destroys the protein shell of a virus. So
Mhm.
without a spike protein, the virus doesn't go into a cell and doesn't replicate because it's all about destroying the protein. Yeah.
Wow, you actually studied on that. Okay, so
I very rarely know what I'm talking about. This is one of those that I do.
nice. So let's dive into the topic because today we're gonna talk about the most exciting topic ever, which is governance, right?
Yay! Yeah.
Yes.
Governance.
So governance is like the key to identity management. I think it's
Sure.
getting
For
you
me, as
into.
a tech guy, I find all the governance talk always extremely boring. So,
Mhm.
how do you make it interesting for someone that likes clicking buttons and
Yeah.
writing scripts and all that good stuff? How do you make governance, me not hate governance?
Yeah. How do you do that? I think like most, if you look into governance. So let's take the joiner, mover, leaver scenario. I think the fun piece for me, at least, well, it was always that those scenarios at every company are different
Hmm.
and are overly complex. So if you can skip like figuring out how they work and they just tell you how it works, then probably from a technical perspective, at some point you need to build like all kinds of integrations. You need to do like custom stuff and send notifications. And
But it sounds like so much work. Why do
it
I have to
is.
do work? I
Yeah.
don't wanna do work.
You wanted to
Every
do fun
single
stuff.
Microsoft exam literally says minimum administrative effort.
That is true. That is true. So could we like remove the complicated part and only make it like clicking and just
Ooh,
put it
that sounds
together?
fun. So less
Yeah.
work for me is better for me. So I can
Yeah.
go and drink some coffee and just basically
Mm-hmm.
twiddle my
Mm-hmm.
thumbs
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and do nothing. Yeah,
That sounds like you.
yeah, yeah. Doing nothing. Yes, yes, sir.
Exactly. So would it be something Azure-AD-ish? Like it's a cloud service, so could it be
Mhm.
something there that could help?
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe we should look into that to see how we could help around that
Okay.
boring topic.
For all
we
y'all
were
that are watching, I told
yeah.
this is topic I put in front of Stefan.
This is like we are such good actors. We did a
Yeah, you're a
nice.
theater major though.
I do. Yes, normally I'm. Yeah. So, do we have any scenario that we want to look into? Because we
So
can click around like crazy people, but that could be fun. But still, maybe we want to like
so
scenarize.
so just as a cheat sheet, the thing I always do, and I like showing as a real scenario is imagine you're bringing a new person into the fold of your company
Mm-hmm.
and you want for them to have access to everything they should have access to.
Mm-hmm.
So for the thing that is close and near and dear to our hearts is I'm hiring a new tier 1 person. And I want for them to have access to a specific team, specific role inside of ServiceNow, so they can push the tickets, so they are a member of couple of DLs and all of those, and me having to remember which groups I have to add them or them knowing which groups to request, it's always a hassle.
It is. You always forget one, right? Then the first
There's
day.
always something that
Yep.
slips through the cracks because I have to swivel chair. In the US, they have a term for that kind of administration called swivel chairing. You basically, because every single person has multiple screens. I have 1, 2, 3 right now. You go on the one screen, you get your input, you copy paste, and then you swivel your chair to the side and paste it on a second screen.
Exactly, and then
it's a pain.
It is a lot of manual stuff. Although I must say, in those governance processes, sometimes doing something manual makes sense. Like if you have a task that will occur only once a year, pretty simple thing, but which would be pretty hard to automate or implement, you probably want to like write a procedure instead of building like all kinds of custom scripts. I know it's not fun, but it could be like a better option than building something.
The definition, your definition of fun might be different than mine, but sure.
So define your fun. How do you?
Yeah. So if you can, I basically I learn by doing. I don't know how about you?
Yeah, same.
Yeah. So I basically go into I never read the documentation because I find it's no one does really. Christos that he just joined chat. I assume he doesn't read documentation either.
RTFM.
Yeah, I just am hesitant to see if Christos even knows how to read.
Let's challenge him.
Yeah, but basically, because this topic about governance and especially about entitlements is so thick, going by examples of things you can do and you should be doing from the ground zero. Basically, my example, getting added to a couple of teams.
Yep.
And maybe a role in ServiceNow so I don't have to take care of everything, right? And that's the joiner scenario. Yep. And then when someone leaves, you can remove that access, remove those permissions without having to go and run a bunch of scripts. I know we love scripts, but running
we want to script everything.
F5, yeah.
So Christos is saying English is my second language, so I struggle a lot. I get that.
Yeah, we can relate.
Same. Yeah. And also when you read the docs, there are a lot of docs articles that automatically gets translated into the language. Oh man.
Oh, they don't translate well to Polish at all.
No, Dutch also very, very bad, I can tell you. I love now how on docs we have a switch that just say English. Because I used to, when you go to docs, it would automatically switch to Dutch, and then you needed to change the URL and put en-us in your...
en-us, yeah. I need to find that switch.
Oh, it's on most of the docs pages, but
I know.
Maybe later
it probably just drops on a localization cookie or something like that. So
yeah, probably it does. Yeah. So I love the scenario. The first day someone comes in and wants to have access to anything. So maybe let's have a look on how to set something like that up.
Yep.
Yep.
So we will create a team first. So this is my old thing that I love personally, dedicated Azure AD management portal. And because we went into identity governance, but our scenario is that there is a Microsoft Teams team with a couple of tier 1 support people. So Stefan will be my tier 1 support person, right? And we will give Stefan access to a team and to ServiceNow. Just to make sure that we have them, we need to see what's going on, right? So there are a couple of things that I need to do for Stefan specifically.
Oh, is it only because it's me, or?
Yes, I need to give you access to Teams at all.
Okay.
Right, I need to assign you a license. Because that's something that can be done automatically or manually. So do you want to do it manually or automatically?
I think we should, of course, we should show how to do it automatically, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically you do it with something called group-based licensing.
Okay.
And do you want to do a static group or dynamic group?
Let's do a dynamic group.
Oh, dude. Yeah. You're making my life so hard.
I know, but then you shouldn't ask.
Yeah, I know. Next time I won't. So,
so new
let's
group.
create a new group that will essentially find people that it will be a security group.
Okay, but why not a Microsoft 365 group?
Because it will become a team, and we don't want to make it a team per se. Because this one will be specifically for Office 365 to assign licenses. So we want to just give you a focus team. I don't know how about you, but I'm sick of being a member of 1,700 teams.
Yeah.
I hate them.
Me too. I tried to basically remove myself from some of those teams, and then I got automatically re-added to them. And that's probably what this
just hide
does
them and they mute themselves. Unless someone calls you out by name, they will not create notifications, because turns out Teams is like Snapchat. If you don't read it in 24 hours, it's gone.
Yeah, it is. That is true. And then you're like, oh man, forget about it. I love the button to put everything on red. I read everything. So yeah. Okay, so a security group is more like I want to do like task. I want to use it into like I don't want to use it for collaboration. Maybe that's
you don't want to use it for collaboration. You don't want for that group to get an email address. Yeah. Basically.
Okay. So that's why we choose it. Okay.
So security, Office 365 license.
Awesome.
License Office 365, because we have no naming convention, because why would you want? Would you need one? And let's grow dynamic user group.
Cool.
And let's add a query.
Fancy.
And the query will be choose property. Let's do user principal name.
Almost there. Yep, there you
go. Contains S.
Okay.
Basically, the language is very complex. You can learn more by clicking that link.
It's based on VB script, right? The language. Yes. Yeah.
Of course.
Does anyone remember?
Name contains S. If you are doing Excel macros, it will be familiar. So save it. You create the group. So all users that contain S anywhere in their UPN. So both of those.
Everything would show. Yeah.
So if you want to see if your group processed, you can always see it in the overview.
Okay.
So last membership status, or however, and something that I found pretty cool recently, I didn't know we deployed it. So you can validate the rules.
So what happens when you press
let's add
validate?
users to validation.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's find Stefan van der Wiele.
There he is.
Select. And it means that you will be added into that group.
Nice.
And when you click your details, it will tell you why.
Wow. Nice.
That validator is awesome.
It is.
Instead of waiting for the thing to process.
Yeah, exactly. So how long does it take on average for something to
on
process?
average, if you're the process will trigger within the first 15 minutes of you creating a group.
Okay.
And it can add about 10,000 members to a group every hour.
Okay, cool.
So it scans 10,000 users in your tenant every hour.
Yep.
And every addition or removal of users, so you create 200 users, within 15 minutes, those 200 users will be added because it's going on 15 minutes cadence.
Okay.
Yeah.
So sometimes you need to wait a bit for someone to be added.
Yeah, it's up to 15 minutes.
That's okay, right?
Yeah. The thing is, if you want to create something that will be initially gigantic, right?
Mm-hmm.
If the group will be initially gigantic, then it will take a while. We have customers that are doing it for a few 100,000 users on day 0, so they know it will take 50 hours for 500,000 users.
Mm-hmm. And then it's like in batches, or it's just like going from 0 to fully filled?
It adds them basically in batches of 1,000, I think, something like that. It's pretty quick.
Yeah.
So you see, you have people added here. So let's go now and license that group.
Okay.
Licenses. There we go. All products. And we want to license Office 365.
Yep.
Assign.
So when I assign the license right now, is there anything special happening next to like the license being assigned?
No, not really. The thing is, our licensing, especially for Office 365, we will see that your licensing has been assigned. So it will provision a mailbox for you within an hour. It will provision a personal SharePoint site. You will be given an email address and a couple of other things like that.
Okay, cool.
So this one is way easier than running script. Review and assign. Let's do assignment options. We don't want this one. We don't.
Not for now, maybe in the future.
Yeah, because you can flip on and off specific features. What we care about is that you are in Teams and Exchange Online.
Oh, yeah.
And you can, it's like 49 features. So
wow,
42 or 49.
That is a lot.
35.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is this the biggest one we have, or?
Sorry?
Is this the biggest one we have, or are they?
I think M365 E5 has everything Microsoft.
Oh yeah, so that's gonna be huge.
Yeah,
and all of this can also be done through APIs in PowerShell, right? This is always fun where there's something.
Oh yeah. Oh geez, the dependencies.
So, okay. Is this the usage location that's missing?
No, it's the plan conflict.
Ah. Hey, TRP8472. Also, good afternoon to you. Thanks for joining.
Thank you. So we're assigning some licenses to groups. The group was dynamic one. So Exchange plan 2. Oh, because I flipped off Exchange. That's why.
Ah, okay.
Let's turn everything on. Assign.
Just give them everything.
Yeah, let's give you everything. Let's get you running. So now we also want to create a Teams team for tier 1 support.
Okay. Yeah. Right? So because the scenario right now is that we're creating creating the scenario where someone joins the company and they're the tier 1 support and they need to get access to different applications, groups, and team sites. So this is the preparation we're doing in making sure that all the resources are there and ready to be assigned.
So we gave Stefan will be our joiner because he's only good about closing tickets.
Yep,
so
that's the only thing I can do.
He will be doing all the hard work when we will be doing all the fun stuff.
Close.
Stefan will be given access to a specific team where he will be able to collaborate. So when we create a new group, that's where Microsoft 365 groups come in.
Ah, there you go. So
those are basic also teams and SharePoint sites. So everything modern Office 365, basically they are used for collaboration.
Okay.
So we create one that is for tier 1 support. This will be the email address given to the team. At this point, it's irrelevant. Let's do tier 1 support. Sorry. Hopefully, it's big enough for people. Oh, it looks good on the stream. So,
so everyone who wants tier 1 support now from the 4 to 5 show can drop an email.
Yep. Tier 1 support. Tier 1 support. When we create this one, this is a Microsoft 365 assigned group, right? There is nothing really special about it. If we want, we can try editing its properties. So the email address and stuff like that. It's just a regular group. So also we want Stefan to have access to ServiceNow.
And we this tier 1 group, so this is an assigned type of group.
Yes.
So before we created a dynamic one, which would be filled based on rules. And this is one where we statically need to assign someone to the group, right?
Yes, sir. You're absolutely right. So now we also need to have ServiceNow to be assigned to you. So because we don't have ServiceNow as an application, let's onboard it pretty quickly.
Oh, so we're gonna also onboard an application now.
Yeah, because why not?
Awesome.
It's quick, right?
You already got a ServiceNow instance?
No, I will just create a dummy account.
Wow.
I will just create a dummy app.
Ah, okay. You just create the app, but do not
and then I will not tie it to anything. You will just start seeing it in your My Apps panel.
That sounds like something we could do on one of the upcoming episodes, connecting the apps. Yep.
So basically, you configure single sign-on. At this point, single sign-on, let's make it linked. Let's make it HTTP snow.com. Because why not?
What is snow.com actually?
I have no clue. It's example. Okay.
Okay. No. I was just about to look into what snow.com is, but
you're so nitpicky.
Sorry. I just wanted to make sure that we're not gonna share any adult related content.
Oh. Example.com. This is a safe one from Cisco. Thanks for the host, Mr. Buqueros. Thank you. We're adding ServiceNow so Stefan can close tickets.
Oh, yes.
So Stefan can close tickets. So there are a couple of things with ServiceNow. Normally when you assign someone to have access to ServiceNow, you can assign them with a very specific, this is just a dummy thing. I want to show you something. They can be in a specific role. ServiceNow through provisioning can have multiple tiered roles. So if you want to define those roles, we can define them. So we will go into app registrations. All applications, ServiceNow, application roles, and you have user and MSIM access. So we will create a role called tier 1.
Yep.
And this is allowed for users and groups. Value will be tier 1. There is a very nice tutorial, tier 1.
I keep finding it interesting that the description is mandatory.
Yes, because when you are given a report, it has to be. Also, it can be used as a notes field. I've seen people use it as a notes field.
Yeah, that's.
So there is a tier 1 support description because this is just a thing that we will put inside of a claim.
Yep.
And this one is the thing that will show up in the user interface. So
cool.
We have a team. We have a ServiceNow application that you can be granted. So now we can basically make sure that you can request accessing this amazing role. So everything with granting permissions in the world of governance, it's called entitlements. Both of us, as millennials, we know a lot about entitlement.
I'm entitled to a lot of stuff.
I know, right? So basically, we want to bundle one or more things with specific levels of permissions. So you can request it and someone can approve it that you should have that access or without an approval. So all of those are done in identity governance.
Okay.
And those sets of entitlements get bundled into something called an access package. Again, another term that you have to learn and have in the back of your head. It's just sometimes. But when you create an access package, you can create a new access package that will basically tier 1 support access package. So you will be able to add more applications to it. So people already assigned that bundle, assigned that package, will get new permissions and stuff like that. Tier 1.
And welcome all the new viewers, by the way. See,
Yeah.
Bucheros.
Mr.
Sorry
Bucheros,
about Bucheros.
yeah, hosted us. Thank you for the raid.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can split them in multiple access catalogs. We will skip it for now.
Okay.
New resource role. So now you can add 3 kinds of resources. You can add groups and teams. So basically, if you want to become a member of a team, if you want to get access to an application, or if you want to get access to some kind of shared SharePoint site.
Okay.
So groups and teams.
Yeah, we just created one group and team, right?
Yes. So we want the tier 1 support.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're building right now. The onboarding process.
It will add the group as a resource to a catalog because why not?
So what does this mean? Why would I want to add it to the catalog?
It means that you can basically delegate some part of administration to the entire package of packages.
Oh, cool.
And you can basically say as an administrator, you know what? You as an administrator of that package can only grant access to those specific teams, different levels of access.
Oh, so there's also a kind of delegation you can do here.
Yeah.
So
because I don't want to do everything. Eventually, when you graduate to tier 2, I will give you access to that package so you can manage it, so I don't have to do work anymore.
Okay, cool. That sounds like a great goal, going to tier 2 and doing that, doing the work you don't want to do.
Hashtag career goals. So basically, right now, I will just make you a member of that group, of that team. When you graduate to tier 2, I will make you an owner of this one.
So
you can add more people. But for now, I don't trust you yet.
Yeah, I get that. I'm new. I just got hired, so I need to gain that trust.
So you will be added to that team. Okay. We will also add our ServiceNow application.
Yep.
We will select it.
And I'm going to be global admin or administrator in ServiceNow, right?
We'll give you tier 1 role. The role that we defined, you will be granted it, right?
Okay.
You can define roles on an app, and you can basically because you can have multiple roles inside of the application, right?
Okay.
For instance, Salesforce. It can have up to 200 roles inside of a token. So you can basically split your levels of permission. It's called RBAC, role-based access control.
Cool.
It's RBAC, essentially.
So actually, Azure AD is going to tell ServiceNow that this user that has this access package needs to have this role.
Yes, sir. Exactly.
Cool. That is so cool.
Yeah. So, and now who can request this access? Because there is a nice interface that probably, Stefan, you will share your screen, and I will instruct you to go to myaccessmicrosoft.com to request that entire package.
Yep.
If you don't remember your password, I will reset it for you.
Yes, that was the next thing I wanted to ask.
But yeah, so at this point, we will do for users in my directory. Who can request? Because if you want, you can specify who can request that specific access. So you can basically do, hey, all people that are in that Office 365 licensed group can request access to that access package. If you don't have an Office 365 license, it doesn't make sense for you to request access to a team because you will not be able to use it. Okay. For simplicity's sake, I'm using all members. Let's require an approval.
Oh, you really don't trust me?
No, the thing is, we want to show the approval might be not required. So if you request it within minutes, you will get that access. And you can have multiple assignment policies, so it's not that big of a deal. You can split. So at this point, I will be the approver. Hybrid admin will be the approver.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm the tier 1 boss.
You are
I never want to be your boss, man.
No, it's gonna be terrible.
In real life, no, thank you.
I'm the worst employee you can imagine.
Yeah. So because people are particularly bad about approving stuff, it's we will start sending nag emails to the approvers saying, hey, you have stuff pending, just go and approve that fella.
Cool.
Yeah, and justification, I don't want to type in. You will need to give me your justifications. I don't have to give you mine. Because I'm such a hypocrite.
You are, but that I already knew.
And let's enable that policy.
Okay.
We can ask. We can specifically ask a requester for a specific thing.
You should ask some
this
questions.
Is a new thing. This is something that came out literally last month. That requester can add a specific. You can ask a specific question. So, are you for real these? And answer format is short text, and it's required.
Okay. And you can do add localization as well,
yes,
right?
we can do it in Dutch. So let's add localization, language code, Polish. Czy na pewno tego chcesz?
Kak.
Oh, good. So
I was just saying I was watching a Polish series on Netflix.
The Netflix one,
yeah. So there are a few words. I actually figured that there are some words that sounds like the same words in Russian.
Yep, it's almost the same. If we speak really slowly to each other, Polish and Russian can understand each other. It's even better over a bottle of vodka.
Oh, yeah, of course, because then you're going to talk slowly.
Of course. Cool. You're going to slur your words either way. So there is a thing. So when you get granted access, some companies want to an ability to see, hey, do you still want to retain that level of access? For instance, I have limited number of ServiceNow licenses. Yep. So if someone doesn't use ServiceNow or they don't want to tell me, they don't tell me that they still need it, let's revoke it so it releases some of my licenses. That's what we call access reviews.
Okay.
Basically, your assignment to that bundle of permissions inside of multiple applications and resource services can expire after a time. By default, it can expire after a year. You can basically have an annual review on a specific date. Let's do 30 days and require access review.
Wow, that's a lot of information now.
I know. At this point, we don't access review. We basically say, after a month, you will have to go and request it again.
Okay.
And then you will not have to give me your approval because there will be an extend access button.
Okay.
And let's create this one. The beauty of this one is that
TRP8472, Siberian homemade vodka from Yakutsk, and any language can be understood.
Yes. So the Siberian vodka is distilled in a very fun way, because normally you distill hard liquor by evaporating alcohol, so it condensates into a high proof thing and water stays. In case of Siberian Yakutsk thing, you freeze your alcohol. And because water has a higher temperature of freezing than alcohol, you basically freeze your alcohol around 0 Celsius. Water starts freezing and alcohol doesn't. So you just scoop out water.
Oh, wow.
Scoop out ice, and it's water, not alcohol.
Okay, wow. I should try that. Where can I buy it?
It has to be like 25 degrees below 0 Celsius.
So they only do it in the winter then?
Yes, it's okay. The rule of thumb is the 1% of alcohol is 1 degree of Celsius below 0 that it will freeze at. Yeah.
Well, okay. So TRP8472 is saying it nearly killed me when I drank it.
Because he's from UK.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you give that Yakutsk person British curry. And it will blow their taste buds off. Yes.
Yeah, so that's to compensate. But still, I would like to try it one day. So if I... cool. I once said I had homemade vodka from Siberia, but that was like with berries in it. We had like...
Yeah.
I think it's different.
Yeah. So we have created our access packages. We have created our access package, and now... we probably want to ask Stefan. Where are you, Mr. Vanderwiele? There you are. Let's reset your password.
Yes, please.
Stefan 1234 exclamation mark.
Okay, let's see who's getting there first.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not strong enough, or is it one of the ones you already had I set up for you?
It could be the latter.
Temp pass 1212, because this one is being sent to on premises.
Oh yeah, of course. Okay, I got it. And let me
go to myaccessmicrosoft.com.
Yep. Let me show it. There we go. Next. It's I love the
Temp pass
background.
1212.
Yep. Oh, look at it. It's working.
Set up your password that only you will know.
Mm-hmm.
If you make it too easy, we will deny you.
This one should be good. I hope. There we go.
Look at this.
No thanks. Save.
Oh,
Okay,
you need to enroll into MFA.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip
for now.
Skip for now. And remember the choice. So there you go. I want to stay signed in. Sounds fun.
Yep.
Okay.
So these are your access packages, right? myaccessmicrosoft.com is a place. You see, this one was created for you.
Yep, I
You
see.
can control wheel to make it a little bit bigger as well, so you don't have to zoom it. Yeah. Responsive design. So you can click the arrow, right? It's hamburger menu. You can click the arrow to see what will be inside of that access package.
So the tier 1 support group I'm going to get access to, and then ServiceNow.
Yes, sir. So you can click request access, right?
The role.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Because we configured it as such. So you can click request access.
There we go.
Yeah, always enable MFA. We are using
I know.
Are you for realsies? It's the thing that I asked you.
Are you for realsies? Yes. And a business justification. Because I am awesome. And
everything is awesome.
It's still my look. Wait. It's now I'm gonna be in everyone's head. It's still my desktop background.
I'm using the Bing wallpaper plugin to change my desktop daily.
Yeah, I'm using that on my private device, but not on this one. This is like I actually had customers asking me if I could share this wallpaper. Okay.
Click submit.
Submit. There we go.
It's submitted, right?
Okay.
So now you can change to my screen. Focus on me in the studio. So my stuff will become bigger in the stream.
Oh, now we got an more exciting thing. Oh,
yep.
I need to have this one.
Almost. There we go.
So, this is all new stuff. I'm still learning.
We assume that approvers not necessarily are technical folks. And they almost never are. There are business owners of your stack. So if it's not for help desk people, but for instance, for HR department, and the access package is for like 3 HR apps and a team. So the person, you go to the same portal.
myaccess.microsoft.com.
myaccessmicrosoft.com. Hey, Bolt.
Hey, Bolt.
Welcome.
Hello. Thanks for joining.
So thanks for joining. So we are giving Stefan some access. So I can also request that access because I'm in my tenant. But you see this wonderful thing here. I see approvals. So I can see approvals as an approver. Stefan van der Wiele, he requested this one. And I can see the details.
Okay.
Access to, what was request access, request details. Because I'm awesome and I rock. So I can have all the information you provided to me to whether or not to approve you that access. So once I approve you, okay, let's do this. I'm dyslexic. I apologize. It's just
You know, actually, so the word that you just typed, thuis, means home in Dutch.
Thuis.
Yeah.
I was trying to train my Dutch by saying Van Gogh properly.
Van Gogh.
Van Gogh.
Yeah, it's the same with the word gezellig.
Gezellig.
Yeah, you're pretty good at it.
No, the thing is, I'm 1/8 Jewish, so I have all the from Hebrew.
But I learned from when I was in Israel that the in Hebrew is different than the in Dutch. Ours is deeper.
Sure. So now you are approved. So if you were to refresh your page.
Yep. Let's have a look. Let me just bring it on the screen.
There we go. So you can refresh that entire page.
Okay. I did say remember. No, skip for now. Who wants MFA?
Within 2 weeks. So delivering. Delivering means that we are basically assigning you all access to the app. So if you bring my thing into focus, my screen, or you stop sharing yours, I will show you what's happening behind the scenes, because we want, at the end of the day, we just want to show you the entire flow. So what happens underneath, we gave Stefan group membership and application assignment. So if we were to go and see Stefan's account, we will see that in the applications, he was directly assigned ServiceNow.
I see.
And in groups, he was added Tier 1 support group membership.
Yep, I see.
We can see it in audit who did it.
Oh.
Because you had your amazing session on auditing with Christos.
Yes.
So everything is audited, every single thing. So you see entitlement management assigned you. I was approved, ready to fulfill access package assignment. Justification because I rock.
Everything's there.
Everything is there. And modified properties.
Even the answers.
Yeah. Exactly. So it added all of your stuff. So if you were to go to myappsmicrosoft.com now, you should see your team style and your ServiceNow tile in there.
Okay, let's do that. So there we go.
And open a new tab and go to myappsmicrosoft.com or myapplications.microsoft.com. I always go with ak.ms/myapps.
Skip for now.
It will be nagging you because you're being bad by not having MFA.
I know, but that's a good thing, right?
Yes, it is.
This is because I didn't go to my applications, I got redirected. Yes. So here we have a lot.
You have your ServiceNow.
Let me check.
I see it.
ServiceNow. I see it over there. There you go. ServiceNow.
Yes. And click Teams, please.
And Teams. Okay, I'm going to click Teams. So this is basically like the first day of work. I'm just opening my machine, and and I get all these messages about MFA.
Yes, because you're bad and you didn't do MFA thingy.
I know. Look, there we go again. Maybe I should just
security defaults are. The thing is, we will pester you enough, so you will get good.
In the end, it's a good thing. It's a good thing that you involve MFA.
So you see, the Teams provisioning will take up to an hour.
Okay.
There are things about modern groups when they create it as teams. There are a couple of things you have to flip in Teams, but eventually your Tier 1 support team will show up in here as well.
Okay, cool. But I can hybrid. You're the hybrid admin. There you go.
Yes.
Say hello.
Yeah, I don't have my Teams. Yeah,
I know.
Exactly.
I know. Just for fun. And actually, I want
for fancies. Of course, gifts. So the general idea is that you can. Instead of trying to whack-a-mole Gazelle group memberships, having a documentation who has access to what, through which group, through what group nesting, this is a way of bundling sets of permissions in something that is manageable, right? In perfect scenario, you just create access packages. If you can flip to my screen, I will show people something.
I'm going to show that just a sec. There you go.
Yeah. So basically, inside of identity governance, you can also assign access packages administratively. So if you have an access package, every single access package will have this thing called assignments, right? Basically, you requesting and getting approved for an access is an assignment. I can do an assignment manually as an admin. And also I can do an assignment to an access package via API calls, via Microsoft Graph.
Okay, so everything can be automated, scripted, or integrated
everything that we just went through. So creating the approver flow, creating the approvals, creating the access package, adding the resources, everything can be automated.
And so theoretically, I could connect this to ServiceNow, right? And I can connect it to a ticket.
Yes.
That's coming in, and I can.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
exactly.
Awesome.
So this is basically, in perfect scenario, you set up your access packages, approval policies, and assignment policies in such a way, because you can have multiple assignment policies. So you can say, this initial policy is for people in that group. There you have people that are coming in from outside of my company will have another assignment policies. And you can split and choose who will be the approver, how long the assignment will be for. So you have a large degree of flexibility.
Yeah.
It's overwhelming. Honestly, identity governance, especially access packages stuff, documentation is excellent. It has, so Azure AD governance.
Just doing the same.
Manage access to resources in Azure AD. That documentation is some of the best documentation that we've ever released.
So if you go up the page, there is a, where is it? You don't have it, I think, because your machine is probably in English. But when you're on a machine that is in a different country, there's actually a switch saying always show in English, but it's not
okay.
Okay, I was just
I don't install machines in Polish. I'm not a masochist. So.
No, it's also location, but different thing.
Yeah. But this one, my keyboard layout is in English as well. So it's in English, in US English, that's fine. And this documentation, those two beautiful people were feature owners at the time. Joe, he went to Salesforce. Now he works as one of the group program managers at our biggest competitor. He's amazing.
Yeah.
Joe Castellanos. I love the guy to death.
Yep.
And entitlement management was a large part of his baby, and that documentation is excellent. I know I said that we very rarely read documentation, but this one, the how-to guides.
You should read this one.
Yes, the how-to guides for common scenarios, right? The common scenarios, and if any of those match you, they have all step-by-step with a nice diagram, delegate access to an access package, with a video. Hannah is doing the video here, and then you with screenshots. These are really, really, really good. So yeah, and this is just a very simple demo, right? If you create an OIDC app and you want to issue role claims for your OIDC app, instead of trying to figure out who will get assigned to what, that OIDC app, if it has roles, it can be assigned as a resource here.
Yep.
And when you are creating an assignment, you can create another role in your app. So if you want to govern which RBAC permissions inside of your app users should be getting, you can bundle it in here. And you do it only once, and then users just request it. They have their approvers. And one of the cool things is that in the policy, you might have seen that your direct manager can be your approver.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, your boss can be your approver.
Oh.
And it's automatically based on the structure. So if you have a manager in global address list in Exchange, you will get permission. They will be getting their NAG. So on top of you getting your NAG emails in your inbox, you will also can pester your boss. Hey, can you approve my access?
Please approve. Please approve. I want to do this. I want to do my job. So basically, I can now do my job, right? I can go into ServiceNow and just decline all the tickets.
Yes, close them as it works. It works on me. It works with me.
Yeah, although the only thing we haven't done is connected ServiceNow properly.
Yeah,
right?
I think single sign-on and SAML stuff, even though our wonderful guys and on 425 show are talking about OIDC and OAuth, a large majority of apps, enterprise applications integrated with Azure Active Directory, they are SAML apps. SAML is still the de facto single sign-on protocol for SaaS apps.
What about non-SaaS apps? Can we also use this for that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can do everything. Basically, everything that not has some kind of.
So basically, as long as you can connect it to Azure AD, and then we can assign access and we can do stuff around that with those access packages.
So Bolt is asking, Teams has approvals now. What about can this one hook into? Nope. It's almost like as if Microsoft people don't talk to each other and there are overlapping features, because identity governance is an Azure AD Premium P2 feature. So it's the highest SKU you can buy. And if you want to just go into the Teams interface and request a join a team, an owner should be not to just join that one specific team, one specific group. It doesn't make sense to make people pay for P2 if they just want to use Teams. ELM is way wider than that.
It is.
Entitlement lifecycle management. And Teams is a very specific, hey, you will become a member of a team, you will become a member of a group, and you will become a member of a specific site, because Teams is all of those. And that's about it. And it's contained inside of a Teams interface. And it's a good single purpose thing, because your Teams notification will pop up. Hey, approve that person. And you will, if you live only inside of a Teams client, nowhere else, that's pretty good, honestly.
It is.
But that's a great question. Thank you.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? In the future, we're going to talk to each other and things.
No, the thing is, I think that just having a Teams-specific experience for requesting access to a team makes sense.
Yeah, that's true. But then you mean things outside of Teams? Then maybe an add-on to Teams could be.
Yeah. So
I'm just making it up on the spot. It's not something.
Yeah. Someone is asking, so you can build an app for Teams that will invoke a flow to do approve? Yes. If you don't want to direct your users to go to My Access Microsoft.com and click that approve button, you can basically give them a chatbot that will say, hey, you have this thing. If you want to create an onslaught of notifications in someone's Teams client, just do it. I personally hide those. Ping them every minute. Yeah. I don't think, the thing is, the idea behind the approval is just to have some kind of human verification system that person is not getting over permissioned. I still have permissions inside of Microsoft Tenant for Microsoft support systems, even though I haven't been in support for 5 years now, because I keep reapproving myself. Yep. You don't be like me.
I see TRP 8472 or use Power Apps. Yeah, it's like Power Automate.
Yeah, Power Apps or Power Automate or whatever we call it this week.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. And then did we talk about the delay, then escalate if not actions approval path? Yeah, that's
yes. Like basically, it's not emails. And there is a deadline. If a deadline doesn't get, it's just another email to a person, and that's how it.
Maybe you can put it on the screen and show it where we configured it.
Yes, sir. That's a great point.
So everything's under governance.
Oh, my PC is getting slow. So access packages. We want policies, because it's inside of the policy, right?
Yep.
And if we edit the policy, requests, require approval, how many stages of an approval, and advanced request settings, you can have alternate approvals. So you can basically say, hey, if your manager doesn't approve, let's start nagging a corporate VP.
Yep. And so the other question was if you can have two approvers. So guest approver,
you can
then
have, you can have 2 stages of an approval.
Yep.
1 and 2. Yeah.
And then the first approver can be multiple, right? It can be just not only like one person, you can have multiple persons. Right?
Yeah. Yep. So this one is, we see customers using this one specifically with approvers for getting your B2B users in your tenant.
Yep.
Because one of the gigantic use cases for the entire ELM, the entire My Access Microsoft.com, is B2B. So if you want to get your B2B users come in and request access to your apps, they can go to myaccessmicrosoft.com/your tenant name, and based on their Office 365 identity or their Google Apps identity, Google Gmail identity, or their Xbox Live account, or their email address with OTP, they can request access to be provisioned as a guest in your tenant. And then they can get approved, and the approver may be, hey, if someone is coming from Microsoft.com email address, let's send an approval nag to Microsoft rep our company is working with.
Yep. And that can be different for any company, right?
Yes. So
maybe we should have
a policy. Yes.
Yeah.
For users not in your directory, you can do specific organization. So if you want to basically create approval policies per incoming tenant, you specify this radio button, users not in my directory, and you can specifically point which tenants that approval policy should be applied to.
So
and it's per tenant.
Yeah. Okay. So if you would press add directories, I can just specify the company that I'm working with, and then only making sure that this policy only applies to people from, in this case, Microsoft.
Microsoft.com, and you can basically, for any organization, you can have sponsors. So if I'm working with a specific person in Microsoft as an organizational B2B relationship, I can say that any person, I will be able to point a finger, hey, you are my BDM.
And can I use that in the approval flow, the sponsor piece?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's cool.
Yeah. So you can say that one of the approver will be, so if I go previous, cancel.
So this basically means that you can not even delegate these tasks inside your own organization.
Oh,
but
yeah.
You can also have the connected organization.
So this is internal sponsor and external sponsor. So you can have two sponsors, internal and external, for B2B flows. So you can say, if someone is trying to come in and they are from a specific org, the first approver will be an internal person in my company. If they don't react, we will send a nag email to an external sponsor for approval.
Cool.
It's come a long way since we released it last year.
I know.
Honestly, ELM is the best thing to come to Azure AD since conditional access.
So hopefully it's gonna perform just as well as conditional access.
Hopefully, yes.
Yeah.
I just love it. Because it gives you so many tools to basically, you set it up once. It reminds me of good old days of WSAS, Windows Server Update Services. You set it up once, and then others are just coming and they're going through the workflow. It's extraction, transformation, load.
Nice. So basically, if we look at ELM, we're talking about catalogs, and a catalog would contain access packages, and an access package can contain multiple resources, but it also has multiple policies that can be assigned to different people and different organizations as well. And that policy that will basically say who can request this package, for how long, who are the approvers. So I can have an access package which contains resources, and then I can have a policy for internal people, which would say, you have access forever and don't need approval. And then a policy for external people, maybe even a specific company, and saying this require approval and you only have it for 10 days. And after that, you need to renew it.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. That's
really powerful stuff.
Yeah, it's just because there are so many layers of abstraction, getting familiar with it and reading documentation and going through all use cases can take a couple of days.
Yeah.
Because there are so many knobs, it can be overwhelming. Honestly, this one is like 1/10 of complexity of SailPoint.
Okay.
There is a reason why governance, MIM, and SailPoint projects take 18 to 24 months to get any value. And even though you said at the start, let's start with something simple. When we tell our viewers, this is the simplified flow, I hope they believe us.
Yeah, it really is. And also I think it's good to know that in such project, if you're really going to go through such a governance project and joiner, mover, leaver type of scenarios, the biggest part, 80% of your project, is not going to be in this interface. It's going to be talking to people. It's going to be in identifying owners of apps, talking to HR, how does the process works, what happens when someone get hired, who are
Yep.
the different stakeholders. And from my experience working with customers, you would be surprised how many companies don't even know what the process is, and
Yep.
don't even know, like,
Yep.
oh, was that person supposed to do something as well? And that, so even if you're not going to end up in this dashboard, it is still very powerful to have that documented.
Yep.
But also,
So yeah, every single governance project needs at least 2 very good PMs.
Yep.
That their job will be just making people talk to each other, grabbing stakeholders by their necks and saying, talk to each other,
Exactly.
you jerks, talk to each other.
And then it's also about timing, right? Because such a process, they're changing over time. So how many times I finally, after a year, we figured out this is the process. We got a stamp from everyone, and then the process changed, and we can start
The thing
over
is,
again.
the key is to start with a very simple process, right?
Yeah.
We very often come in and someone comes with gazillion inputs, outputs, approvals, and stuff like that. And honestly, this cannot do it. ELM cannot do it. It's the minimum viable product that satisfies most common entitlement assignment processes.
Yep.
But if you need something more complex, first thing I would do, look at simplifying your process. Look at don't have that many people involved. Make it as seamless for users as possible, so they don't hate you with a passion of 1,000 burning suns and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, it's all about getting people right access to right resources at the right time.
Yep.
Oh, dude, I even know that the entire governance thing.
Yeah, so I love our TRP 8472. Like on a Friday afternoon, manager comes down and says we need 20 laptops on Monday morning.
Yep, you might benefit from unionizing a little bit, making you work over a weekend. Basically, in my good times when people ask me to do it, I said every hour I work on a weekend, I'm taking 2 hours off throughout the week, and there's nothing you can do about it. I'm not burning out for you.
No,
Sorry.
definitely not. No, and also what you said, like influencing that process, but that's very hard.
Yes, it's hard because we are techie nerds,
exactly,
right? And people have their highfalutin messages. And I just had a discussion literally half an hour before this stream that someone said, hey, we have the user onboarding process that involves a person getting a pin from help desk, getting getting a phone message, gluing them together into one thing, and then that is used to change their temporary password, which they also need to type in.
Yeah, that sounds like a a common scenario, to be honest. But
it's common, but not common sense.
No, exactly. But this is like how things grow over time, right?
Yeah.
This was the process before we even automated, and now and then it's kind of worked. We wrote things on papers and we handed it over, and now we're trying to automate it. And that's also the thing that I said in the beginning, and maybe that this would be a good quote or good piece to end on as well, is that think about the process or part of the process and think about it. What does it cost me to automate this piece? And maybe it's only like something that, and how many times does this happen? Maybe it's like a small thing that happened once a year. The process could also be like not an ELM. It could be a written manual on how to do this, because it's only once a year. So it makes much more sense not to be I know we're all like IT people and we love to write scripts.
If you think about it, right, this specific thing we're showing you, you can sit down and do a simplified version of assigning user to an app with a specific role or adding a group membership based on a script that will pull data from an Excel spreadsheet on your own. It's just the thing is, after you're gone, because you got a promotion to tier 2, Stefan, who will take care of that script?
That is also a very good point. Yeah, and that's like what was it? It was like configure before customize. That's the other thing that you should think of.
Yeah. One of my friends always tells me that company's memory is inside of its processes and procedures. It's seen very often inside of group policy designs, because no one remembers how they were designed and deployed. They are just there.
And then they grow on top of each other. And
yes, exactly. It's the same with the onboarding processes, right?
Yeah.
You have something that was figured out in the early 2000s. People were brought in, they were given a temporary password. It wasn't secure enough because they got hacked. You got hacked a couple of times because that snail mail message in an envelope got lost a couple of times. And then you layer and layer and layer. And as millennials, we always like to, hey, let's throw it out and start from scratch.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the most I know. Man, back in the days when I did those Microsoft Identity Manager or Forefront Identity Manager implementations, how many times we came there and there was already something. I was like, oh, it's such a mess. Let's throw it all out and start over again. And then 2 years later, we were basically in the same mess.
At the same spot. Because again, the genetics and the DNA of the company, because people are used to doing things, right? There is also such a thing as organic growth of cities. You very often might see a crossroad. There is a pavement and there is a piece of lawn that people cut across, and there is a path in that lawn.
Yep.
Right? Because people will take a shortcut, even though if it destroys the greenery.
Yeah, I know.
And basically the responsible thing is to pave that part over so people have easier time going through something. So if people are used to doing something in a company, again, you get onboarded onto a company and then you need to get access to 3 things. Trying to force people to do 2 or 4 things instead of those 3 will be extremely hard.
It is. Yeah, no, great example. Cool. So next week, same time, same place, both of us.
Yeah, tweet at us. Stefan is more active on Twitter. I'm socially irresponsible and I yell about Republicans.
Oh yeah, I'm just a retweet kind of guy, but I will make sure to put in some interesting content.
Stefan, you are a mod in the Twitch channel. You can do the raid.
Yeah, let me see.
Because Christos didn't give me a mod in the Twitch channel, so I don't know how to do it.
The interesting thing is that I don't have Twitch open right now.
Oh yeah, because we can see the wonderful social thingy. Yes. So let's see who can we raid.
Let me.
Okay, shortcut points. Basically, there is a podcast called 99% Invisible. Basically about beauty of unconscious design of different things. So how things get designed without involvement of real designers, and how to incorporate that one in your designs. It's awesome.
Cool. I'm opening. So I got the dashboard. I can click rate channel. So which one are we gonna? Any preferences? I see code rushed.
Yeah.
Does that sound good?
Yeah. Let's rate someone, and we had some fun, and yeah, governance is a big topic. So this one is we'll probably come. Surface.
Yeah, we'll probably come back to this topic later on as well, and show some other things. Yeah. Okay, I'm ready to start the raid. Thanks everyone. See you next week. Thanks.
See you next week. Thank you. I don't know if you're raiding, but